Hi there. Have you ever dreamed of, just packing your bag, leaving everything behind and just, exploring the world? Of course, no fixed plan, no strict schedule, just you, just the road, and wherever adventure comes through the way. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm, been doing right now. And let me tell you, so of course, being exciting, unpredictable, and sometimes even a little, terrifying. But with every challenge, every unexpected twist, and every unforgettable moment, I've learned something very, very new. Not just about, the place I visit, but about myself, about life, and about what real freedom, of course, actually feels like. So, warmly welcome to my pockets. I'm really excited. This is, where I want to take you, along the ride. I won't just be sharing the highlights, and also want to talk about the struggles, obstacles, and these little victories, of course, that really makes it, definitely all worth it. Whether you're just like a traveler with a heart, someone, of course, dreaming of breaking free from the daily grind, or just here for some real and fit stories, you're in the right place. You're in the right place, of course. So, grab your headphone, get comfortable, and of course, let's dive in together with me, of course. Before I get started, I want to take a moment to acknowledge something very important. A few days ago, 7.7 magnitude earthquakes affecting so many people in Myanmar and Thailand. My heart, goes out to everyone impacted this area, especially to the people of Myanmar who have, already been through so much, so many recent years. I'm Burmese, by the way, so I don't just hear about the struggle. I lived them. COVID, military coup, inflations, floods, and now this happened. It feels like really, we never get a break. And even though I left my country behind, my families, friends, everything familiar, I want to say I'm always pray for them each and every single day, of course. I hope for their safety, their happiness, for a better future. Definitely, I'm hoping better future. For many years, of course, I followed, the safe part, working, a stable job and a steady paycheck, and living a life that was really fine. It was, of course, predictable, it was secure, but at some point, it all started to feel like, robotic, like I must just going through the motions, wake up, walk, eat, sleep, just like a repeat. I didn't want that, to be my life. I didn't want to wake up one day, look back and realize, of course, I had, spent several years just, existing instead of, actually living. So of course, I made a decision. I made a choice. I walked, away from the corporate grind and decided to create a life that, really excites me. A life, filled with, travel, new experiences, and the kind of, freedom. That's why I started this journey, of course, to document every moment, kind of like a, journey to the West, like Wukong faces, demons, stumble upon delicious fruits, make a mess, sometimes, even lost his own way. Of course, I feel like I'm just like him, navigating an unpredictable, messy paths full of lessons at every turn. Of course, just like him, I'm facing ups and downs, the doubts, and plenty of, I have no idea what I'm doing, several moments I'm facing. But along the way, I also, discovered hidden strength, just like, building unbreakable bonds with tiny little best friend. And I found out, moments of pure joy that, shine through the chaos, of course. Yeah, by the way, I have a, YouTube channel where, I'm sharing my travel video. Yeah, you can check it out, by simply type at Nyein CHENAYEDIERY at Nyein Diary. Of course, YouTube channel, on YouTube. But don't get me wrong, I'm not here to promote my channel. The reason I started this pocket is just like because not everything can be captured on camera. Some of the most moment is just like a real, raw moments happening, when the camera is off, of course. Conversations, that lingers in my mind, feelings, I didn't fully process at the time, or a thought that, really hits me long, after I stop my recording. So, that's why this pockets exists, because video shows what I see. This pocket is just like, I want to share how I feel. So, the thoughts I didn't say in the moment, the reflections, that came after, and the deeper side of the journey, that can't always fit into the blog. Now, back to my journey then. Starting point wasn't easy, always. I went back and forth in my mind for several months. Doubts kept creeping in, and most people around me, were not exactly supportive either. But one day, I just did it. Left my resignation letter on the table, packed my bag, booked my first flight, to Thailand. For over 12 years, of course, I've been saving money. It's just not a fortune, but enough to start. I knew that at some point this saving money could run out at certain time, but still I was willing to take the risk. The truth is just like I had no real plan. When my best friend is also asked me just like what's the next, so I'm always confidently satisfied. I have bigger plans, bigger fish to catch. Of course not, but honestly, that was a lie. I had no concrete plan. It just a dream. Of course, there were moments I felt, completely lost, sometimes terrified that I had made huge mistake. But, despite all the fears, for the first time in my life, I could actually breathe. Since then, I've, traveled, along the Asia country, just like Thai, Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam. I've met, many people, incredible people, of course. Some inspire me, some, a bit weird. And each episode, I'm sharing those experiences with you, the hilarious moment, that unexpected, this white man's strange encounter, and the romance, and of course, the struggle I'll be sharing with you all. But this pocket isn't just about, travel stories. Some, episode will be about my thoughts, my opinions, my take on life. I understand you might not always, agree with me. I might be right, I might be wrong, but that's okay. Yep. In this episode, I also want to share about my thoughts, recent happening, natural disaster, of course, how, our life is like, cliff dwellers, always on the edge. You see how nature is, brutal to us, able to destroy everything we love, everything we build over the decades, in each and every second. So that makes really think me of how fragile, life really is. We build, we love, we chase dream, but in the end, nothing is permanent. Whether we believe in science, religion, or something that's entirely, one thing is certainly nothing lasts forever. That's why I'm always ask myself, it's just like, what will be my biggest regret when I take my last breath? Of course, I write it down, I listen to my heart, and I always follow what it, tells me. So, I'm, trying to follow, to listen my heart, of course. I was born in, very tiny spot on this planet, on this earth. So why not to explore it? I want to see every place, want to meet every kind of person and experience, life to be fullest. Of course, money is important, I don't want to argue it, no doubt about that. But, so is the meaning of life. I want to, explore the meaning of life. Because at the end of the day, we can't rewind time, we can't go back and we can't fix what we should have done. So when my time is up, I want to be able to say life was, totally beautiful. Now, to be honest, this pocket is, going to be all over the place. So, my thoughts might be jammed around, my ideas might be messy, but that's just only how my mind works. So, I want to ask for your patience, and I promise it's like, I try hard and I get better with each and every episode, of course, upcoming, So, if, any of this resonate with you, stick around. There's so much more to share. I'm really excited, of course, and to whoever listen to this podcast, I warmly invite you to, join this. I wanna, say you just like warmly welcome to my podcast. So let's see how long I can keep chasing this dream and whether I can win this game or not. Of course, until next time, take care. So bye.